How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Small Town Small Talk podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Sledz. Tonight, I have a special interview with the new head coach of the Ravenna Ravens boys varsity basketball, Mr. Justin Rahim. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing good. How you going?
Doing good. I appreciate you hopping on with me here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Sure. First off, just want to congratulate you on getting the Ravenna job and welcome you to Ravenna and to Portage County.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to have the job and I'm excited to be a part of the community and ready to get things going.
All right. So we'll just kick it off I'll open it up to you to let everybody know who Justin Rahim is, kind of your background and where you came from.
Okay. Of course, my name is Justin Rahim. I currently live in Youngstown, Ohio. I started coaching AAU basketball probably about 10 years ago, 2015, 2016. And then I was the JV girls basketball coach at Youngstown Ursuline. And I spent some time there for a couple years. And then in 2020, I had the opportunity to become the girls varsity basketball coach at Heartland Christian in Columbiana, Ohio. And then I stayed there for a couple years. And then in 2022, I was blessed with the opportunity to go back to my alma mater, which is in Pennsylvania. I was the varsity assistant and the head JV boys basketball coach at Kennedy Catholic in Hermitage. And then in November of 2023, the coach, he retired, and I was able to take over the program. And I was there up until I recently resigned and took the position here at Ravenna.
So how cool was that getting the coach at your alma mater? You played at Kennedy, didn't you?
Yes, I played at Kennedy. It's when you're able to play at a school and then go back there and coach, it's a great feeling. Kennedy has a very rich tradition on winning. We won state championships on the boys and girls side. Put a lot of student athletes in college. For me to be able to go back and be a part of that on both sides of it, it was a great feeling.
That's awesome. So what attracted you to the Ravenna job?
What attracted me to the Ravenna job was, I kind of, like I said, I'm in Youngstown, Ohio, but Ravenna was kind of like a second home to me, sort of. My grandfather, Pastor Isaiah Moss, he passed away about 10 years ago, but he was the pastor at Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church in Ravenna. For over 40 years. So a good portion of my life, at least for the first 17, 18 years of my life, Ravenna was like a second home, from going to church on Sundays, the Bible study on Tuesdays, choir rehearsal on Thursdays, and doing all over again, going up and down 76 was a good portion of my life. So, I know about Ravenna. I have some roots in Ravenna. My mother, she's a minister. So we go to Ravenna quite frequently. Once I seen that the position was open, it was something that I had to think hard about. Most coaches go, if they leave a program, they're going back, they're going to their alma mater, maybe, or going home. It was something I definitely had to think about. But I put my name in the hat and went through the interview process, and then I ended up accepting the position. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So have you had a chance to get together with the players yet at Ravenna?
Yeah, I accepted the job at the end of April. I had to go through some things, and you got to go through that process. So I was able to talk to the guys last Thursday, and we recently started our workouts actually this week. We started on Monday. We had a good turnout so far. So I've been able to talk to them and get some workouts in and work on a lot of drills and skills. So I'm excited from what I'm seeing so far.
So what's the off season look like for you as a coach?
Right now, like I said, this is just we're just getting in the gym. So my summer plan. I'm big on skills and drills. I'm a big fundamentals guy. And the reason why I'm like that is just like I told the guys, you do it in college, the pros do it, this the time of year where you work on your game. You add to your game, see what you can improve on. So I'm big on skills and drills. So, in the summertime, that's something that I'm working on with the guys. And then, we're gonna hook up with a couple other schools, and then some schools on my end. We're gonna get together, and we're gonna have some summer league games and have some combined team workouts. But I believe this time of year, just staying in the gym, just getting better. Just getting up as many shots as you can, getting those reps up, working on your ball handling, defense. It's the time of year to get stronger. So come September, October, about that time, it's conditioning time and things like that. But, that's a time in my mind, I already want to be conditioned. We should already be conditioned. We got June, July, August, we got 3 or 4 months where we should be conditioned. And once the season starts in November, it's time to roll. So, this is the time of year where you work on your game. And then, November, once the games and stuff start, it's more X's and O's and team drills and stuff like that at that point.
Okay, good stuff. So how would you describe your coaching style?
I'm a laid back coach to a certain extent. I'm a player's coach. I just recently turned 33. So I'm able to adapt with this generation. The generation is different. You got to be able, their mindset's different. They're growing up in a different time frame and things like that than even that I grew up in. So I'm able to adapt with them on certain levels. But I'm a no nonsense type of guy. That's how I am in life. That's how I am on the court. My first day talking to them was last Thursday, and one of the first things I told them was I'm big on discipline, commitment, and hard work. If you can't do those things, it's going to be hard for you to play in my program. Once you step inside those sidelines, once we step inside that court, I'm all business. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. But I know one thing that's not fun, and that's in losing. Losing ain't fun. So, of course, we're going to have our ups and downs. I think every team does. But, I'm a no-nonsense guy. I'm big on discipline, and I'm big on attributes that are also off the court, like I told them, I'm here to teach you guys life lessons. Some of them don't have anything to do with basketball. Like I said, being on time, hard workers, being committed, having pride about yourself and your community, in your school, passion, playing with purpose. Those are all things you can take on and off the court. I want to be there to mentor the guys, and hopefully, it leads to success on the court as well.
So how big is it for the student athletes to be, good not only on the court but also in the classroom? Is that something you stress as well?
Oh, absolutely. I remember when I went through the interview process, and education and academics and all of those things came up, and I'm big on that because, like I said, you're going to spend a good portion of your time off the court than you're going to be on the court. So I'm here to help these young men, become men in life. That's why I see, about hard work, dedication, all of those things, because, if you have a job, you have to be on time. You have to carry yourself the right way. You got to respect yourself. You got to respect your teachers, your boss, whoever the case may be. Grades are huge. Academics are huge. I haven't been able really to, lay out my foundation and stuff like that. But, once the season and stuff start, if guys are not applying themselves in the classroom, acting a fool in school, for lack of better English there, you'll be held accountable. You have to represent my program in a certain way. And again, it's not just about basketball, it's about teaching them about life as well.
All right. So how about Justin Rahim off the court? Just talk about family and then what you like to do to unwind when you're not on the court.
My mother, she's a minister. She's a big part of my life. My parents, they've been married. I forgot how long. It's been a long time. But I would say about 28 years, I would say. So, I'm big on family. They've been married almost 30 years. So, I'm big on family. I have a sister. Me and my sister, we have a great relationship, great bond. My sister, she's one of those girls. I took her to the gym. We play basketball together. We used to coach together some years back. So, we're only 16 months apart. So in some ways, we're kind of like twins because we finish each other's sentences and things like that. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big family guy. Off the court, I like to cook. I'm always in the kitchen trying to cook up something. I like being outside in the yard. And I'm big on learning new things. A good portion, of my life off the court is basketball. I play in a few basketball leagues down here on the weekends, on Fridays and Sundays. And then, like I said, being a coach, my mind's always thinking. So I'm thinking about how can we get better? How can I make these guys better? How can I not make mistakes? You're going to make mistakes, but you're always thinking, how can I be perfect and things like that. So I'm a laid back guy, easy going. I like to take one day at a time. Just be grateful. And blessed that I'm able to do what I do.
All right, so you like to cook, so I got to ask, what's the Justin Rahim signature dish?
I can pretty much make anything. I can pretty much make anything. I like to use my pellet grill. I got a pellet grill a couple years ago, so okay. I love using my pellet grill, cooking steaks on there and chicken and barbecue and all sorts of things. My macaroni and cheese is top notch. So I love making mac and cheese. That's one of my best dishes that I make.
It's making me hungry now. All right, so what do you have to say to the Ravenna fans and the Ravenna community about this coming season and what you're going to do with this team moving forward?
Well, first I want to say, I haven't been able to, to meet everyone yet. We're going to plan a meet the coach night here pretty soon. We just got to have a date and get that in stone. But, everyone that I met so far has been phenomenal. One thing I want the Ravenna community to come in and, you're getting someone that's going to be the best person that I can be for your son, for your student athletes. I'm going to come in. I'm going to be a mentor for them. I'm going to be someone they could look up to. I'm going to be someone that they can depend on and know that's going to be there. I'm going to be a person that leads by example. I'm not going to ask them to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So in terms of being a hard worker, understanding your craft, being on time, representing the community and the school system in a good fashion, those are all things that I'm going to do. So I expect them to do as well. But on the court, you're going to get someone that I'm going to push the team as far as I can push them to be the best version of themselves individually, and hopefully that leads to success for us as a team. Also, the talent is there, the commitment is there. So I'm just hoping to be able to unlock it a little bit. You're talking about a team that just won their league a couple years ago. So they have an understanding of what it takes. So I'm just hoping to be able to come in, be a new voice, and hopefully lead them to unlock another level with them.
All right, I like what I hear, so hopefully everybody else will too.
Absolutely.
All right, I appreciate you hopping on with me. Looking forward to seeing you in the fall or the winter, actually, covering your games. And best of luck to you this season, and we will see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
No problem. Have a great evening.
You too.